CUPP launches multiple offensive to stop President Buhari-led APC federal government from borrowing and accessing $22.7 billion foreign loan.
The opposition parties under the umbrella of CUPP have sued the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government, National Assembly, and the lenders in a separate suit over what they termed as mortgaging the economic future of Nigeria. The court has been asked to grant 10 prayers of the appellant, which include the set-aside and or nullifying any approval for external borrowing made by the fifth defendant, National Assembly, as any guarantee purportedly offered by the fourth defendant, President Buhari, in pursuance thereof.
The Nigerian Opposition Coalition CUPP, in pursuit of public interest of Nigerians, including the unborn generation, who are the ones largely to pay for the avarice of this government, today launch multiple legal offensives with public interest suit filed at the Federal High Court, seeking to stop the move by President Buhari-led federal government to borrow away the future of Nigeria and sell Nigeria into economic slavery.
On the 5th of March 2020, the upper chamber of the National Assembly approved the loan request of $22.7 billion by President Muhammadu Buhari. The external borrowing plan covers 2016 to 2018, which the administration stated will be for the specific projects across states of the Federation. Before the approval by the 9th upper chamber materialized, the previous leadership of the Bukola Saraki-led 8th Senate rejected the move by President Buhari. Reports revealed that as at the third quarter of 2019, Nigeria's debt profile stood at over 26 trillion naira. Now, this amount of money borrowed Nigeria to embark on projects or finance the budget has been seen not to be able to bring about economic value with the circumstance of things. Now that monies are to be paid back with interest, what measures have been put in place to clear existing debts? More than 70% of the loan will come from the Exim Bank of China, with about 30% of the loan from the likes of the World Bank, Africa Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, Japan International Cooperation Agency, German Development Bank, and French Development Agency. The question now is, shouldn't Nigeria be wary of Chinese debts? You will recall that Sri Lanka handed over a port in 2017 to companies owned by the Chinese, as the country was unable to pay its over $1 billion debts. The Center for Global Development in its 2018 analysis listed Pakistan, Tajikistan, Mongolia, and Montenegro that will be unable to survive the average debts owed to China. Zambia, one of the biggest debtors of China at risk of debt worries. China has been a major provider of funds for development in the Republic of Zambia. On the part of Nigeria's #1 opposition party, the People's Democratic Party said in a statement which reads in quotes, "It is distressing that the APC senators approved the loan, even when the Buhari presidency has not justified the request, a situation that validates apprehension that the APC senators have become rubber stamp legislators." End of quote. The coalition of United Political Party also opined that the loan request is a poorly executed plan to sell Nigeria into economic slavery and financial colonialism.
We declare that the loan request by the President is the greatest singular act of disservice any leader could have done to this country. The loan request is riddled with project lopsidedness, lack of financial prudence, secrecy, plan to use loan for frivolous projects, overcosting of projects, corruption, misapplication, and incompetence. Nigerians must know that of this loan, consultants are expected to take an alleged whooping 40% of the loan, while projects are to purportedly take the remaining 60%.
Due to certain reasons and conditions such as the fall in global oil prices, the exchange rate of dollar to naira is now chasing 400 naira to a dollar. This means that at this rate, the 22.7 billion foreign loan will be equivalent to 9 trillion and 80 billion naira only, more than the entire 2019 budget and just a little less than the entire 2020 budget. On the 16th of March 2020, The Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed that the external borrowing plan has been suspended, saying, in quote, due to current realities in the global economic landscape, end of quote. The government also gave a breakdown on how the purported loan will be spent. This entails emergency road rehabilitation and maintenance, $434.7 million nationwide. Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway Development Project Study, $1.5 million multinational. Abuja Mass Rail Transit Project Phase 2, $1.2 billion FCT. East-West Road, $800 million Niger Delta. Nigeria Housing Finance Project Guarantee Scheme, $100 million national. Lagos-Kano Railway Modernization Project. Ibadan-Kano Segment Double Track, $5.53 billion Ibadan-Kano State. Railway Modernization Coastal Railway Project. Calabar Port Harcourt on Net Deep Sea Port Segment, $3.4 billion Cross River and River States. National Social Safety Net Project, $500 million nationwide. Multi-sectorial Crisis Recovery Program, $200 million Northeast. Northeast Nigeria Integrated Social Protection, Basic Health, Education, Nutrition Services, and Livelihood Restoration Project, $100 million Northeast. While the borrowing plan by the Buhari-led administration has been jettisoned, the economic security of Nigeria ultimately hangs in the balance. How can a government borrow its entire budget, yet citizens are in doubt as to the content of the loan package? Is the loan request a sign of the height of Buhari's administration insensitivity, irresponsibility, and mischief? Local and foreign experts have pointed out the unsustainable trajectory of Nigeria's debts. With the current upswing in borrowings, Nigerians will one day wake up to find that they are now tenants in their own houses.
Otherwise, how could the government want to borrow 500